Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get back on the channel. Tobie Vermeire, it's fight week for him. He's boxing Cristian Uwaka in Portsmouth. Over 4 rounds. And yes, Tobie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm all good, Tobie. Um, yeah, I mean it's fight week for you. Um, yeah, how did training go? You've had would you say the longest camp of your career for this one?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's been quite a long one. It's been good. Needed a long one as well. I wasn't too well a few months back, so I needed the time, which was perfect. And obviously, this was a fight that kind of made sense. So plenty of time, plenty of notice, get myself ready for it, and here we are, fight week.
Exactly that. I mean, last time out, you fought Louis Puccetti,
Chelsea,
sorry,
yeah, yeah.
uh, on what 2 days' notice was it, or
Yeah, 2 days notice. Yeah, yeah. So
at Selhurst Park? So a stadium fight, wasn't it?
I think I think any fighter, regardless, obviously, unless you're one of the big boys with lots of backing, if you get a phone call with 2 days notice to say, "Do you fancy fighting on Sky Sports in on a stadium show?" You can't say no to it. So it was very much a case of regardless of how fit I was, or regardless of what shape I was or whatnot, I was going to do that anyway because that's a dream. So that's what I'm in here for.
And it looked like, the start of the fight, you was taking his power quite well. You took it
Mm.
quite a bit on the gloves, and then he just caught you, didn't he?
Yeah, I think a lot of that um is prep. Obviously, I had no real prep. I wasn't really sharp for it. I was fit, I wasn't sharp. And the reason we took the fight is because I was fit. My fitness was there. I was easily doing 8 rounds of sparring in camp because I was training for a knee starch during that period
Oh
of time
yeah.
as well. And we hadn't sharpened up. We just got fit. And but yeah, obviously the call come, and I was in a shape to do it. So it was like, why not? Why not? That's what I'm in this game for. I'm not in this game to pad a record or look, or have an unbeaten record to look good in front of my mates. I'm here for these experiences. That's something that when I'm in 20, 30 years' time, I'll be able to tell people that I fought in Selhurst Park on a world championship bill in front of, well, there wasn't many people there when I fought, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
you can still say you've boxed on Sky Sports in a stadium.
Exactly, yeah, exactly that.
And yeah, and I've seen you've been sparring Phil Williams, who and he's fighting Louis
He's fi-
Saturday.
yeah, he's fighting Louis on Saturday as well. Yeah, so obviously Phil's had a long layout, but he's ready as well. And obviously he's a tough man. So having someone like him in my camp, this camp's been fantastic. Wealth of experience. He's been in there with every single person you could probably think of in the British heavyweight scene over the last sort of 5, 10 years. So having someone like that to kind of bounce off and again have some real gym wars with was been fantastic. So very, very thankful for that. And again, when a few years ago, I'd look back at him and as an absolute hero of mine, you go in there fighting all these big shows. Now I train with him, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel he'll get on with Louis?
Yeah, Phil's a very clever bloke, very good boxer, very skilled, a lot more skilled and drilled than me. So it'd be interesting. Obviously, he's a very, very tricky puzzle. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I really like Louis Brachetti as well. I think he's a lovely kid.
Yeah,
And he's going to go far in the game. I think he's only young as well. So I just wish that both of them have a good fight, have fun. Obviously, what happens happens, but as long as they're healthy and well at the end of it, then I'm happy because I'm a fan of both of them and I like them both. So, but in this game, we've got to punch each other in the face. So unfortunately, there really can only be, well, there can be a draw, but there can only really be one winner, really. But
mm,
yeah, uh, what will happen there. But again, I wish them both well.
exactly that. And would you say Louis's been the hardest hitter so far, or
Uh, Yeah, I'd say the shot that I got from Will Hamilton hurt me a lot more though. But that
He
sent me to
signed
six.
with Queensbury now, I've heard.
Yeah, rightly deserved. I know people probably say his last performance was flat, but he's in there with a very, very skilled boxer
Harry
in
Howe.
Perry Howe who can basically wiggle his way out of everything and anything. So, but yeah, rightly deserved. Wish Will all the best. Very lovely bloke again. And I'm sure he'll do very well for himself, and I'm pretty sure he'll add some big entertaining nights for Queensbury as well.
Yeah, and of course Perry as well. He's boxing on the same card as you.
He is, yeah. He put me a message actually just before he got announced saying, I'll see you next Saturday." So yeah, yeah, he's on there as well.
Yeah, so two good fights. What do you know about your opponent? Of course, he's had two fights, so sort of similar experience.
Yeah, he done a little bit in the amateurs as well. Obviously I think he's come into it late as well by the looks of it. He's quite old. Um, yeah, I don't really take much into it. I've been focusing a lot on myself at this camp, getting myself ready for heavyweight fights. Obviously, this one being a heavyweight, so I've had plenty of time to get ready for it and get myself adapted for it. Obviously, you know, I'm going to be coming in a bit bigger than than I would be in my prime prior, but we're good. We're comfortable at the weight. We're big at the weight. We're strong at the weight, and we'll just see what happens. Obviously, it's more about me rather than about him. Obviously, he'll bring whatever he can bring, but if I bring my A game, then we'll see what happens. But I know, I'm actually going into this the underdog. He is the home fighter. I'm in front of a home crowd. You know, he's they've handpicked me because he thinks he can beat me. So a lot of that comes down to obviously he's got to beat me. He's got he can't lose against me, but I got to win against him in his backyard. So we'll see what happens. Again, it's hard as an away fighter, even if you think deep down that you're better than the opponent, it's still difficult. You go into their crowd, you got their swaying the judges and stuff. So we'll see what happens, mate. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and he's sort of, I think he had I believe he had a home fight, then he's took an away fight. So would you say the pressure's more on him as he's got the backing and well the crowd behind him sort of thing?
Yeah, he's handpicked me, isn't he? They think they can beat me. They haven't gone and got a foreign
Do you
opponent in.
do you think because they look at your record and they've seen that you've been stopped in your three of your fights, do you think that's what they think that he can do as well?
Absolutely, yeah. Why else would they not pick me? So they've obviously looked at that. They've obviously tried to do their homework and gone, okay, he's been stopped by these three lads. Oh, we can do that as well. So we'll see what happens. Like, at the end of the day, like if you look at the opponents they've been stopped by, Will Hamilton, amazing, amazing shot. I must admit, I was in great shape for that. Just was
Mm.
not, was not. I was coping and I got a bit cocky, and then I got floored. Um, Obviously, Bomber, that's another story. Obviously, I came in on a day's notice,
Yeah.
very unfit, a bit injured as well from it. Like I've not injured it, like but just kind of wear and tear on my body that needed
Mm.
resting. Day's notice, way out of shape, as you've probably seen in the fight videos that I'm fat boy there. So
Mm.
and then obviously with Pachetti, a couple of days notice, and I felt comfortable in there until I got caught.
And of course
Um,
you've had quite a while for this fight to prepare, so it's a different news going to turn up.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, I've got to put a good account of myself in there. It's a big fight. It could be career defining as well.
What for you?
Um, yeah. Obviously, if I get the win, it opens up doors. If he gets the win, opens up doors potentially. I know that he hasn't got
But haven't you got that Adrian King fight as well penciled in?
no more. No, no, that's
Oh,
that's been cancelled, unfortunately. stuff behind
What
the scenes.
happened with
I'm
that one?
really gutted about that actually. And Adrian King, obviously, he's gonna do very well, and he's got a good team around him in Curtis Woodhouse and that, and I'm sure they'll do very well. But unfortunately, it's not the case anymore. I found out earlier this week. So, but yeah, it will be, and yeah, I wish those guys well as well.
Good stuff. Well, good for you that you haven't got that opportunity, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is what it is, mate. It's boxing. You know, the amount of fights that
And you've had some good opportunities, haven't you? So
yeah, well, the amount of fights that should happen or potentially happen, and they get cancelled for one reason or another, injury,
yeah,
stuff like that. You know, a lot of the boxing fans will be like, "Oh, why isn't he fighting him? Or why isn't he doing this?" Well, there's a lot more behind the scenes. It's especially a lot of us are working men as well.
yeah,
I'm sure Christian's probably got a day job as well, and it's balancing that family life, everything like that. You know, to get these dates in place and stuff. Um, I'm the same. I can't fight every weekend because unfortunately I've got daddy duties. So, but I would if I could, and I'll get babysitters if I could as well. So don't be put off anyone. But um, yeah, it's just a way of boxing really. Fights do happen when they can. Obviously, getting plenty of notice is nice, but it's the game. Not everything will flourish and pull through. I've had a lot more fights be cancelled, which have probably not been announced than I've actually had. I'll be honest. You know, Nice Taj is one, for example.
yeah. He
Obviously,
got the cut, didn't he?
yeah, that's a cut. Yeah, then I've had a few in between as well. You know, I could have had a few fights in the last couple of months, but they've been pulled through, so they pulled out. So it is what it is, mate. It's the
So
game.
all or nothing on Saturday.
What's that?
Would you say it's all or nothing on Saturday?
No, my career will continue, mate, and I've made adjustments on my side to make sure that my career is gonna be longed out. So we'll see what happens. I'm obviously going to make a good account of myself, regardless. But I'm the away fighter. I'm not the favourite, weirdly, but we'll see. We'll see, mate. At the end of the day, I'm not going to give too much away.
Yeah,
I hope he brings his best, and I'll bring my best, and we'll put on a show for the paying audience, and whoever wins wins, and we both move on from there. We both move on with our careers, as long as he's well and I'm well afterwards, and the winner's crowned. That's all that matters.
100%, mate. And everybody does like a bit of heavyweight, a heavyweight dust up, and it's
Yeah,
not a bad card as well. You've got a Commonwealth Silver title fight, which is main event. John McIntyre, Perry Howe, your fight, and there's some other good fights, good prospects as well. So makes for a decent night in Portsmouth.
yeah. There's plenty of cards on that night as well. So
Yeah, one at
there's
York Hall, one in Sheffield.
you've got the DAZN one as well. Yeah, then you
Yeah,
got
yeah, that's the
I think
Terry Howe
there's
one.
about 8 cards or something over the weekend. It's
Yeah,
quite a
yeah.
lot of fights, but
And they're all decent cards. So,
yeah, everyone getting out, everyone wanted to be active, which is good.
hmm and do you yeah, as always, I'll let you shout out the usual people that you want to shout out.
So yeah, so massive thank you. This camp's been a good one. So massive thank you to Claudia, uh, female coach, trainer. You know, does a lot for the away corners as well. Obviously multilingualist, so a lot of the Spanish and Portuguese speakers that come over, she looks after. So she's been training me for this fight and for the ones prior and that, and got good rapport. I can't understand half the things she says, but she means well, I think. And obviously Richard, my manager, doing really well. You know, he's a legend of the away corner as well. So
Mhm.
massive thank you to him. Um, Luke Jones as well, who's been doing a lot of my pads locally to me recently, just to make sure I'm sharpening up. My missus for making sure that I'm catered for at home, and obviously my last one is my sponsors. So Cyberpulse and DNS. Obviously it's a new year for me, so I've got two sponsors which are carrying on for this fight, and yeah, and created by Leandro for when he's free, not doing other stuff, get some good content out for my followers.
hmm And from me, Tobie, thank you for your time as always, and go smash it on Saturday.
Will do, mate.
Good
Much love.
luck.
Cheers.
Bye, mate.
Cheers.